Every time I open my phone lately, I feel like I'm being pulled between chaos and cute cat videos. If you've been feeling that way too, this episode is about breaking the news. It's actually about protecting our peace when the world refuses to slow down. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Taking Up Space with Jordan. Every Wednesday, I like to share a YouTube exclusive episode that dives into the themes from the podcast. This week, I have been feeling the heaviness even more. Breaking news is every day, but no real progress. So what do? How do we ease the unease? How do we let go of the guilt over things that we can't freaking control? And how do we do this without burying our heads in the sand? Well, keep watching because we're diving into that exact thing. First, let's be honest. Sucks right now. Is not great. I've never been someone to sugarcoat life, and so many of us are carrying the weight of decisions and actions that we can't control, while we're also just trying to afford groceries and make time for our dreams. If you're like me, that lack of control feels awful. It makes you want to do something. I mean, our current United States president, the president of the United States of America, could not say acetaminophen during a press conference. If you felt anxious, angry, numb, or guilty for looking away, you're not alone. These are human reactions to inhumane amounts of noise. Here's the truth. We can't control everything, but we can control what we consume, how we respond, and how we process the chaos. The non-stop cycle of injustice and tragedy, it wears down on our mental health, and it's okay to say, I don't have capacity for today. That doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're protecting your energy so that you can keep showing up tomorrow. I like to think of it this way. I'm aware of what is happening, but the only thing that I truly control is what I do next. Means I can stop supporting businesses that don't align with my values. I can give my time and energy to artists and communities fighting for dignity and giving voice to things that I sometimes can't articulate myself. And here's the other piece. We need each other right now. Even the smallest of actions, sharing resources, checking in on friends, amplifying voices, it reminds us that we don't carry this weight alone. And that's where our power lives, in our choices, in our communities, and in refusing to let the noise strip away our ability to act. Which brings me to today's focus. Not just surviving the noise, but actually cultivating a sense of calm and resilience that will actually carry us forward. Because here's the thing about moving towards your dreams and simply moving forward. You can't care about everything. And I know that sounds cold, maybe even harsh to some people. I understand that. Because there are so many crises in the world, but you as an individual person cannot hold it all. You can't be everything for everyone. You can't be the solution to every problem. I did want to remind everybody that just because you can't be the solution to every problem, it doesn't mean that your voice doesn't matter. So I just want to remind you that your voice matters, especially in local elections. The policies that impact your daily life, your community, your schools, your neighborhoods are decided close to home. So don't underestimate the power of showing up at the ballot box. Every vote is a step towards shaping the kind of world that we actually want to live in. So keep showing up and voting. And now back to the rest of the episode. And that's why cultivating calm, it does matter. And a few ways to start are by picking 1 to 2 causes to focus on. There will always be countless issues demanding our attention. But if you're overwhelmed by carrying everything, narrow your focus. Pick 1 or 2 causes that actually deeply resonate with you. This doesn't mean you're indifferent to the rest. It just means you're creating space to make a more meaningful impact where it matters most. Another thing that you can do is you can give yourself permission to close the apps and mute the noise. It's easier when you know what you are focused on, hence picking 1 to 2 causes to focus on. So this is creating digital boundaries. And this means being intentional about when and how you consume news. Maybe you schedule a 15-minute window a day instead of just the constant scrolling. Think of it as self-preservation, not ignorance. Protecting your mind in chaos is an act of survival. Another thing, or a third thing that you can do, is honestly give yourself some rituals. Boundaries create space for these rituals. And I don't just mean productive ones, like working out or eating healthy. I mean the small anchors, like your morning coffee, journaling, lighting a candle, stepping outside for some fresh air. These tiny rituals bring consistency when everything else feels unpredictable. And the most significant one that I think a lot of us forget is choosing joy on purpose. Joy is resistance, especially when the world tells you to shrink. I've talked about this before in my Joy as Resistance episode, which I'll link down below. But here's the truth. Finding joy in the dark is a radical act. Buy yourself flowers, dance in the kitchen, cook your favorite meal, celebrate yourself without guilt. Joy is not frivolous. It is fuel. It is what keeps us moving forward when the world wants us stuck. So try a few of these tactics and let me know how they work for you, because I get it. The overwhelm, it's real. That feeling is, unfortunately, at this point, normal. But remember, we cannot control the chaos, but we can protect our calm. We keep going together. Thank you so much for listening. And if you try any of these practices, reach out. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're wanting to hear a little bit more about resilience and keeping and cultivating calm, I should say, as we continue down this pathway of just honestly chaos, then you can go ahead and look forward to next week's Sunday episode, which is all about those topics and those things. So don't forget to subscribe so that you can be the first to know. Kisses.